Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Vivek Ramaswamy is one of these people who thinks that he is bigger than the program. Or, put another way, he is a person who thinks that he can outsmart the system. And I'm talking about the system of white supremacy. So he has joined the Republican Party, which is a white nationalist party. And now some of them are calling themselves white nationalist Christians. So, how's that for identification? Now, they told him when he was running for president what time it was, well, as far as they were concerned. And he just kept pushing. He thinks that he can skin and grin. He thinks because he has money, and he thinks that because he's not black, that he can make it with these people. So they have had to really tamp it up on him and put a little bit more pressure on him because he thinks there's a way for him to fit into that party. He has received wake-up call after wake-up call, but this latest one is one for me. I didn't even think they would go this low to wake him up. But I have a video of a pastor, Joel Webbon, who calls himself a Christian nationalist. And he lives in Ohio. And Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. And this pastor, this so-called pastor, is saying something that even I didn't think would come out of somebody's mouth who calls himself a pastor. But Vivek keeps getting wake-up calls, but this is the worst one I've heard yet. Take a listen.
Go home. Get out of our country. I don't care about you quoting Thomas Jefferson. I don't care about you pretending to honor the founders. This is America. We wear shoes in this country. We eat beef in this country. We worship Christ exclusively in this country. We don't rob people of their wealth in this country. Get the hell out. That's the proper response.
There is another video that I have that's longer than this clip, and this one was bad enough. But there is another clip that's longer than this one that I will pin to the comment section. Now, when I pin something to the comment section, y'all have to look in the comment section to find the video. Now, some of y'all have to remind me that I didn't put it there. But then I have people days later saying I didn't put the video in the comment section. So you have to look in the comment section at the very beginning to find the video. But this was really awful. It was not a theological argument. It was not a debate about governance. That was an attempt to define American identity through one religion, one race, and one cultural background, and to cast everyone else as foreign, suspect, or unworthy. Now he was not wrong about Vivek and those drugs, and that's in the other video. But still, he really went after him for not being American, for not being white. And that just goes to show, just because you're not black doesn't mean you're white in America. Because a white man could have done the same thing that Vivek has done to make money, and he would not be under the same scrutiny. They wouldn't even bring up how he had made the money, just like they haven't done Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has done some dirty deals with people. But because he's a white man, they're not bringing it up. And I just want to add, Donald Trump has done some dirty deals with white people. He certainly has, and it's documented. And this Pastor Webbon is a piece of work. First, he attacks Vivek Ramaswamy's Hindu faith as if being non-Christian disqualifies someone from public service. That is the core of Christian nationalism, the belief that America belongs only to Christians and that everyone else is a guest in this country. But the Constitution says otherwise. Religious freedom is not conditional. Freedom of religion is guaranteed under the First Amendment of the Constitution, but the Christian right has decided that they are going to ignore all of that and say this is a Christian nation. But this nation was founded on religious freedom. Then this pastor got to the core of it. He leaned into racialized language, language which was designed to paint Indian Americans as outsiders. No matter how long their families have been here, they are still seen as outsiders. And this is a classic tactic. When you can't challenge someone's ideas, you challenge their identity. Now, we've been having that problem with white people for the longest. But these other groups of people thought that they were in the package. And they thought that just because they weren't black, again, because they're not black, they think that they can wiggle their way into it and be assimilated into white society. And people like this Pastor Webbon is making it clear, no, you can't. No, you can't. You got to have the right religion, and you got to have the right race, and you got to have the right character. You don't have to have the right character. You really don't, because otherwise Donald Trump wouldn't be the president. But you do need to have the right race, and you do need to have the right religion in order to fit into Republican politics, or as they call themselves, Christian nationalists. So these other races of people are getting the classic wake up call. We have tried to tell them we wanted to ally with these groups of people as they came to the United States because, we had advocated for them to come because we thought they could be our allies. But we found out very quickly that they didn't want to be our allies. They wanted to be allies with white America. Well, white America is showing them something that we would not have been able to tell them. White America is showing them that they can't be good enough. You can't have enough money. You can't quote the Constitution enough. Vivek walks around with the Constitution in his pocket, and he's always trying to quote the founding fathers and saying our founding fathers when none of them were Indian and he isn't white. But he has tried to find his way. He thought that money, and black people used to think that too, and money will get you farther than not having money. That's for sure. But for somebody that's not white, your money is not but so good with the white right, with the so called um, Christian nationalists. So Vivek Ramaswamy, again, has received the worst kind of wake up call. And the reason that he keeps getting these wake up calls is because he keeps pushing. He keeps pushing. He's trying to push his way in where he's not wanted. And like some of the other Indians, they just stay with the Indians and they just live their life and make their money and be doctors or whatever it is they are and go on about their business. But some of them try to push their way in. And people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Cash Patel, they seem to be able to take a lot of humiliation in order to try to fit in, because no self-respecting person would take the kind of abuse that Vivek and Cash Patel has taken. Nikki Haley didn't take the kind of abuse that these two have taken. And Bobby Jindal, who was the governor of Louisiana, went on off the scene, and he's been forgotten. They've forgotten all about him. They have forgotten all about him because, after all, it's about really trying to control black people. And these other people think they can worm their way in, but they're finding out the hard way that they can't do it. It cannot be done. Now, back to this Christian right or this Christian nationalist pastor. This pastor's motive is to get Ramaswamy out of the way once and for all. He feels like they haven't been hard enough on Ramaswamy because Ramaswamy keeps coming back. Remember, he and Elon Musk were in the Trump administration at the beginning. They were the Doge people who were responsible for so many of the firings. But then they got rid of him before Donald Trump took office, I believe. That's how much he meant. And then they soon after that, they got rid of Elon Musk too. So I don't know what it's going to take for Ramaswamy to get the message, but he needs to find a way to do what he wants to do with some kind of dignity, because what he's showing now is a total lack of self-respect. And that's just how I see it. But y'all let me know what you think. Thank you for listening and have a good day.